So, hello and welcome to the Product Life podcast. This is a show for people passionate about everything from home and kitchen to electronics, all about products. And on the episode, we have Kirsten's, and we are going to talk about her company, Kids Craft. So, let us welcome Kirsten Field. She's an owner of Kids Craft and has worked on it for 9 years. In the past, she has held managerial and strategic consultant roles in prestigious firms such as Pfizer and Deloitte. So thank you so much for joining us today, Kirsten.
Thanks for having me.
So could you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, as you said, previous to starting the company, I had worked in consulting roles at Deloitte and Touche, in Pfizer and Accenture, and then took about a 10-year break to start our family and raise our kiddos. And then I started getting back in, getting the itch to kind of get back into the business world. And about that time, we had attended a Bass Pro Shops event with our children, and they were handing out crafts. And I was thinking, gosh, I could probably create something that would be a little bit more high quality, that could be an easier craft for the kids to do. And so I reached out to Bass Pro Shop, and kind of the rest was history. And we became one of their top suppliers for their in-store kids event crafts, up until 2020 when COVID hit. And so at that point, we were supplying over 2 million crafts to them a year. And then the business kind of ceased to exist because all events got canceled due to COVID. And so I was really at a position of, how do I pivot this company and keep it afloat? Crafts are our wheelhouse. I can create a lot of crafts. I know, we have a dedicated factory in China that produces our crafts, but what's really going to differentiate us in the marketplace? And so that's how we kind of pivoted into creating these lead her and innovate her crafts, and with kind of the message of like, let's empower girls. If we're going to recreate an entire company, my girls have watched me start a business. How can I help other girls to understand that impact on kids? And so that's how the new idea came about.
Got it. So what is the differentiator of product from other competitors in this niche?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the idea came about is, I'm a mom and I'll go into a Meijer or a Target or a Walmart, and there's a few different dream catcher crafts out there. And so again, what would differentiate us? We include high quality materials, but beyond that, what else can we do? And so that's really what gave me the inspiration to theme these crafts around mighty trailblazing women that had a dream. So not only are we providing a craft that, say, was a dream catcher, but we're providing a story behind a mighty woman that actually had a dream. And so then we have a story behind them. So the girls not only get a craft kit, they get an educational story behind the woman that had a dream, and then they get to create a tangible keepsake craft to go along with it. So the differentiator for us is creating an educational story behind the mighty trailblazers, high quality materials, and then we also include lead her question cards with each craft kit. And these kind of serve as a parental resource for girls and parents to kind of talk about, when's a time that you used your voice for change? When did you have a situation that you felt uncomfortable and wanted to tell your story? And so these kind of just serve as a parental resource to kind of go beyond just creating a craft, but like, let's think about your voice and the impact it has, and how can you be a trailblazer as you grow up?
Oh, that's quite interesting. So actually, you had actually shared this statistic that 2/3 of the girls don't think they can be whatever they want to be.
Yeah. So in our research, a compelling fact that is found is that 2/3 of girls really don't think that they are capable of being whatever they want to be. And so to us, that was a huge, moment for us of like, okay, well, how do we get education into these girls? How do we show them these stories? Because the more examples that are shown to them of mighty women that have gone before them and done things, the more likely that they will be to think that they can do these kinds of things. And so our goal is really just getting information in front of them and exposing them to the stories of these mighty women and showing them that they have the capability as well. We also have an Innovate Her line, which is our kind of business in a box line. So beyond just trailblazers, we want to show these girls that they can be entrepreneurs as well. And so our Innovate Her craft kits are all about kind of jumpstarting their first business. And so those include all of the materials. Obviously, for this one, it would be pop and paper clips. So they would create, adorable paper clip items to sell. But beyond creating the items, we include packaging that they can then package their paper clips so that they have a full finished product at the end that they can sell then at the end of the street or, instead of a lemonade stand. We also include a Mighty Girl business plan for these girls. And so this is kind of their first little taste of how do you advertise your product, how do you cost your product, how do you value it? And so beyond just creating a craft, we are trying to, promote entrepreneurship and creating a full finished product that the girls can then sell and walking them through the steps of how do you actually take a product to market and sell it.
Oh, that's quite interesting. Now, just shifting gears a little bit, there are a couple of women-oriented news events that have happened in the recent months. For example, a 22-year-old Iranian woman named Mahsa Amini, also known as Gina Amini, died in a hospital in Tehran, Iran, under suspicious circumstances. The guidance protocol, the religious morality police of Iran's government, arrested Amini for not wearing the hijab in accordance with the government standards. Another famous news is the return of fascists to power, victory of Giorgia Meloni. She's opposed to abortion, euthanasia, same-sex marriage, and LGBT parenting. And another is the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Do you have any thoughts on these?
Yeah, I would say we are just at a really interesting political time, right? There are so many, extreme political things going on right now. And I think that it is more important now than ever for women to use their voice. When we talk about the stories that you were referring to in politics and in the world and what's going on, women, I think, are tired of being told what to do. And I think that they're standing up for who they are and what they believe. And, when we're talking about the abortion issue and, what you have to wear, but, these are all government forced, stories, or not stories, but government forced, rules that have been and laws. And I just feel like right now it's so important to show girls that you can stand up for change and you can be the change maker. So whatever that change is, whether it is challenging government and wanting to wear different clothes, or it's challenging government on, the rights of your body, it's important that you know that you have a voice and that your voice can stand up for change. And so I think that's how our craft kits at this point are, hopefully affecting a change further down the road, where girls just know that by exposing them to stories of these women and, being an entrepreneur, that you have a voice and you can change.
Got it. Can you share some of the inspirational women's stories that come with your kits?
Sure. So we have Speak Like Maya Angelou. And her story is, well, the themed craft around her story is be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. So at the end, they'll create a full rainbow craft. And so each craft is kind of themed around how these women stood up for change. So Maya Angelou, at one point in her young, tween ages, was actually mute. She didn't talk at all. And so then she found her voice and started using it and, created the beautiful poems and stories that go along, that have been just made famous around the world. And she was a big advocate for using your voice for change. And so her story is just so powerful, from being a tween and not using her voice to then speaking beyond words, and impacting change. We have Rosa Parks here, who was brave. And again, Rosa Parks' story was she was tired and she was told to move to the back of the bus. And she was tired and she didn't want to do that. And so it's standing up again for just change. And I'm tired and I'm going to use my voice. Frida Kahlo, her story is create. She was famous for all of the self-portraits that she would do of herself and others. And so that's kind of her story. And then we have, again, like entrepreneurial, craft kits that speak to starting your own business, and it's easier than you think. And that's how you should start.
So where did this idea of empowering girls in this manner originate from?
I think it just originated from my girls watching me create a business. And, I've been in business since 2013. And so, they've grown up with mom having a business, whether it's running it out of our basement to moving to a warehouse to, going to China. It's they've seen it progress and grow. And I think them seeing me do it, because I'm just a normal person, them seeing me do it really shows them that they can do it too. And so they would create, little rock painting businesses at the end of the driveway, or, cutting our flowers and our mint down in our garden and selling those. And so they've seen it, they've seen it modeled for how to create a business. And so that they've done it. And so I think the inspiration was like, if my girls see me doing it, how can I affect change for other girls? And how can we give them a jump start on businesses as well?
Got it. And how has the journey been so far in terms of product success, sales, the entire learning curve?
Yeah, so the journey, I just say, for any small business, COVID was a huge hit, right? We were only a wholesaler prior to COVID. And so for us to pivot the entire company, redesign everything, was a huge shift. And we didn't have a social media presence. We didn't have a following. We didn't have a TikTok channel or a YouTube channel or, any type of Instagram presence, because we only were working with marketing managers and suppliers and wholesalers. And so for us, this has just been a huge whirlwind of trying to create something new and get the word out about our products. And so I would say, we launched in 2022 in November of 2021. So we're coming up on 1 year of basically an entirely new company. And I would say that the reception has been super positive. We have been featured in Good Housekeeping magazine. We've been featured in Prevention magazine, Daily Mom. Our products are sold in Meijer stores right now. We are online at HSN. We're at Macy's stores. So it's just the influence of these women, I think, is so powerful, and it's so timely right now, given all of the political stuff going on, that we've been met with a positive reception to our craft kits.
Wow, congratulations. You have done really well in a short span of time.
Thanks.
So, do you have any plans of expanding or launching a new collection or something else
Yeah,
under Kids Craft?
yeah. So I would say right now, we are just working on, again, just our brand awareness and getting our product out there to be seen by, so that we become, a name for these women. And the products are so timely too, because I think parents are looking for activities to kind of get their kids off of screen time. And so it's a creative outlet that, can allow them to get off of their devices and, be creative and have an educational opportunity to learn some stuff too. So the launching of this has been big. Our plans for expansion would be, we have created girl power lunch boxes. We have created a coloring book, some journals. And so the next phase of this would be next year, introducing probably 3 more women, trailblazing women, and also adding probably another 2 to 3 business in a box entrepreneurial craft kits for girls.
Oh, that sounds quite interesting. So, we at Best Views Reviews use AI to analyze reviews. And among the pros of your products were that Kids Crafts help blends education, entertainment, creativity, and fun into a lifestyle for preteens. It is a wonderful and creative birthday gift for girls, tweens, and preteens. It helps build up girls by teaching skills, expressing through art, and encouraging to learn outside of the box. However, there were some minor drawbacks, such as the adhesive backing may not be strong enough or the instructions may not be clear. Could you comment on these?
Yeah, so I think where you're talking about the adhesive backings is our Create Her line, which is for kids 3 and up. And those are felt craft kits, which have a self-adhesive felt sticker so that there's no glue required. And so we make it really easy for young children to, peel the backings off and then stick the felt onto the, felt craft. And I think probably what that reviewer is mentioning is just that they want the sticker part to be even more sticky so that it stays on more. So I think that would probably be what it is, but we've kind of purposely made it easy for little hands and little kids to peel. So I think that probably is what they're referring to there. And then you were mentioning the instruction sheets. We create all of our instruction sheets with picture instructions so that we can make it easy for kiddos to understand. So maybe what they're talking about with regards to the instruction sheets is maybe putting more, text and verbiage to understand them better. But our goal was to create more picture instructions so that kids can learn and not have to be, great readers to start out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, well, I just have one last question. I just want to know, like, uh, what is your marketing strategy to make people aware? As you mentioned, you're working on brand awareness.
Great question. So again, this has been just a huge learning curve for us. Having no presence in social media or marketing, I would say our marketing strategy is we're actually working with a company that handles all of our Facebook and Instagram ads, and then we're working to donate a ton of our craft kits to kind of get our name out there. One thing that I forgot to mention that's a differentiator for us is that we do give back a portion of our sales to organizations working to empower girls. So beyond just us wanting to empower girls, we really want to partner with those organizations that are on the ground doing that. So we have donated over $35,000 in crafts already this year to organizations like Girls Inc. of Westchester, Girls on the Run of LA, Girls Positivity Club. So organizations that are actually doing things to work to empower girls. And so I think that alone is a part of our marketing strategy as well, where we are just trying to continually get our name out there, get in front of the community so that they can have brand awareness of who we are and what we're trying to do. We'd like to expand to TikTok, but again, it's so new and we're trying to do so many things at once that, so we want to eventually reach out to influencers as well in terms of the TikTok and Instagram movements.
That's a very noble thing that you're doing. So I guess we're running out of time. So thank you to our listeners for listening to this episode. Please support Kids Craft and purchase their products by going to kids, KIDS, crafts, crafts.org. And thank you for listening to this episode once again. You can use a code CHEER15, CHEER 15 for a 15% discount. And stay tuned for the next episode where we'll bring you an eco-conscious product. And thank you, Kirsten. Thank you once again for speaking to me and for telling us about your journey.
Thanks again for having me.